Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make a very simple pudding today. I like these fruit puddings, because fruit have texture. All plants have fiber, and with fiber you can create these most amazing textures. Usually when I make a pudding, I cook a cereal. Basically it's that. And then you have the cereal or the flour turns into a firm texture and it's cold. That's what we learn from our mums, right? But with fruit, the most fascinating thing, you don't need to cook it. You can even just blend the fruit. Depends on the different fiber they have. Mango has a lot of fiber and that's very healthy. I could even use the peel in this mango, you can notice, because the peel is not too bitter. Sometimes mango has a very bitter peel and I cut it off. You have to taste a little bit. Sometimes I don't know. And you taste it and you see, okay, it's not bitter. Then when you use the peel and it's not too bitter, you can enhance the flavor of this wonderful fruit even more. That is true with many different fruit. I always check, can I use the fiber, the peel or not? But other than the peel, the fiber is one of the main parts of a plant. Every plant needs fiber to have stability. And if you blend it, they turn into different textures. And so the mango, blending a mango, that means it gets a creamy pudding-like texture. And there we already are. We can create a pudding just by blending a fruit. We don't need to cook it. You can also put for example, flax seeds in there. That would change the fiber. It gets a little bit more firm. And other things. Nuts, you can put nuts in there to make it a little bit fatter and different fiber again. But today it is very simple. I just have the mango, I love mango, and I put some frozen cherries in there. And they add another fiber. There is more water in cherries, and that makes it a little bit softer. And it has this wonderful color. And I can blend it a little bit longer because it's frozen. Then blending makes it warm, so blending frozen fruit makes it a little bit cooler, and that's very nice and balanced. And I see what happens. They have another color. This is a red pudding. It will be, because the red color is always predominant in cooking. If you put red ingredients, everything turns to red, and the color is another topic of another vegan topic. Colors, textures, like fibers, colors, different kinds of nutrients, and flavors. These three are the main vegan topics that are so outstanding in fruit and vegetables and plants and nuts and seeds. But I talk about fiber today. The color is another topic, very important. The colors are very important, nutrients too. But the textures, the fiber, is what now for pudding is important. Let's see. So at first sight, that looks really great. It's a creamy texture, firm, pretty pudding-like. And I taste it now. That's of course the most important thing. What it tastes like. It has to be delicious. Oh, wow, 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 amazing! It's so easy. I blend a little bit longer. I still feel the peel of the mango is still a little bit firm. I'll blend a little bit longer, and it's cold. It's cold because of the frozen cherries. So blending is no problem. When it gets too warm, I have to wait, and that's not nice because eating a warm pudding, can be nice too. But here, in this case, I want it a little bit colder, but it's cold enough to blend another time. watch closely and have you paid attention, you see the color also changed. It's a little bit more broken now. Before, the color was more bright, and that means the texture also changed. And it looks so much better now. It looks more like a pudding texture. Let's taste it. Because blending also changes the flavor, the texture. If it's more gross, yeah, the flavor doesn't reach. Let's say otherwise. If you blend it more into a more smooth and gentle texture, then the surface is larger, more surface in this liquid. Yeah. And that means it covers all of the taste buds. If it's blended not that far, so more particles, larger particles are in there, the surface is smaller surface, so less flavor. That's why blending can be very important to change the flavor. In this case, I guess it might be better than before. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And it's so simple. That's what I wanted to do today. You see, it's a very nice, look at the texture. This is so interesting. It's really almost a pudding, you see. So it's very firm and it's very soft too. So it's a wonderful pudding-like texture. It's a perfect flavor. The color is also very beautiful, and it will keep, of course, for some time. Yeah, this is also very nice to make a quick breakfast. You just blend up some fruit if you like. You check for the textures to get what you like for a pudding, for example. Yeah, could be a smoothie or more runny, like a milk or so. There's so different versions. And on top, I just have a third part here. I have fresh raspberries. What could be more heavenly, right? I love the raspberries. I saw them, and they're pretty expensive, of course. But when they're not so often in the health food shop, yeah? But when I see them and they're so beautiful, I can't resist once in a while. And it's only one summertime in the year. We have a short time. We have these wonderful fresh raspberries. I can't resist. I made that mistake before. Another year, I thought, oh, these cherries are so expensive. I wait until there are more inexpensive cherries in the health food shop. Very expensive. And then later, I wanted to get the more inexpensive cherries, and they had no more cherries. And the next year, after that expensive cherries I did not buy, the next year they didn't have any cherries. I thought, where's the cherries? And the guy in the health food shop told me, there are no cherries this year. I say, why? Because there's too much rain, so no cherries. Oh, I said, wow, no cherries at all, that's so bad. So next time, when the cherries came in, I quickly bought some cherries. It will never happen to me again. If I get some cherries, I get some cherries. Yeah? Because there are years they don't even have them. So once the summer comes, I take some of these wonderful berries. They're in season. Yeah? That is the most important food for us. Berries, fruit, vegetables. And when they're in season, they are best quality. Of course, they are more inexpensive when they are in season, but sometimes, we cannot always buy only seasonal fruit. That simply doesn't work. And when it comes to the debate, what's better, what we have to do, a moral imperative. What's moral necessity? What's better? Is it better to eat this or this way? To have these or that ingredients? The main important thing is vegan food. That is the most important thing we all can do. And that is not just my opinion. This is based on scientific studies, big studies from big universities, Harvard University, and so mega studies, where the result is simply the single biggest step for anyone to have the biggest impact on ecological footprint, so saving the environment, is going vegan. So all the other things, local, organic, all nice and well. But if it comes to moral necessity, vegan is the one thing we all should do. So if you buy fruit that are not local, that doesn't matter. You can do that as long as you are vegan. That's the most important thing. That's my message for the day, my vegan message. The other thing is the textures. Textures are only in plants. And we can create fiber. Fiber are only in plants, not in animal food. And we can do amazing things with fiber. Yeah, not only not that what we cannot digest of a plant, that is an older, outdated scientific phrase. Now we learn fiber is much more than that. We can, even parts of it, we can digest it, and it has amazing health benefits. So the knowledge changes as veganism gets bigger. Now it's one of the fastest growing global movements. It's not stoppable, and because it's the only alternative we have. We cannot continue to eat animals. That was the big mistake. I would say it is the biggest mistake mankind ever made. It began 10,000 years ago with in big style. I mean, farming animals. That is, yeah, that was the biggest mistake. Eating animals, all animals do that, almost. That is not a big problem, yeah, by itself, on a larger scale. But if you do it on a larger scale, yeah, with animal farming, then it becomes the biggest mistake. Then it becomes obvious. And now we even know it's the best food. Plants are the best food. So it was a mistake from the very, very beginning, but only we'll learn that it is a mistake when we did it on a larger scale with animal agriculture. That made it obvious. But a mistake it was anyway. We didn't have the knowledge. Now we know. Thanks for watching again. I hope you enjoy. If so, subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube, like this video, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.